been a while since we've done a reading. So I thought I would go ahead and do one, take a look at what's coming up in the new year for people. The image that is the thumbnail for this video has the 4 objects that you can choose from, because I'll be shuffling and doing a lot of different decks here on camera. But anyway, there's a bracelet that's an evil eye kind of protection bracelet. There's the sand. I call it dreaming sand. It's a sand mixture in the little kind of heart container. There was a feather in the Selenite Pyramid. So I want you to take a moment and figure out which of those objects kind of speaks to you, which reading you're drawn to before we get into this. And so anyway, for this reading I'll be shuffling a number of decks and holding up the cards for you to see, and then I'll try to remember to take a picture of the final thing so you can actually see it all put together, and insert that in here. I'm hoping for the holidays to get like one of those cool camera rig things so you can actually see my desk, my work area, and not have to look at me all the time. But we'll get there one way or another. We'll figure out something that'll work. My old system wasn't working anymore because with everyone home, I can't use the same workspace I used to use, so it's been kind of crazy. But I'm still here to do readings. I enjoy doing readings, and this is a look at least the start of 2021. I won't say it's the whole year because I think things are going to shift right around April through June. I really kind of feel that coming. So this is more like, how are you setting sail into 2021, what to look out for, what some of the themes for you might be. Remember that these are all general readings. They may not speak to you directly. If it doesn't resonate, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best when reading for a wide number of people. I would say that you could contact me for a personal reading, but I don't really do a lot of those. I mean, you can for free, but it's not something that I do a lot of outside of my immediate clientele. Alright, so that said, let's get started. So if you were drawn to this kind of evil eye protection bracelet, this is going to be your reading. Set this back here behind me. You like my bookshelf? I'm going to start by pulling 4 tarot cards, kind of for the 4, I don't want to say the 4 quadrants of the year, because like I said, I do feel like there's going to be a shift. I just feel like 4 cards is a good start. I'm using this Spiritsong deck to be kind of gentle for people. First card is the Hanged Man. Okay. Your second card is the 9 of Feathers, which is the 9 of Swords. I can already kind of see where this is going. The Page of Acorns, which is the Page of Wands. I'm setting these down beside me here. Oh, and Transformation. Okay, so that's death, right? So you've got 2 major arcana here, which is really something. What I see is like a change in perspective and some anxiety, which makes sense to a degree. You're going to start out seeing things a little differently, or having something presented to you in a way that makes you question. And as someone who maybe is usually very, very like sure of themselves or confident about something they believe in, you're going to have doubts, and those doubts are going to cause a certain amount of anxiety. It's nothing to be afraid of per se. This is all kind of a mental thing. That's words for you. But be aware that there's going to be like some kind of mental and internal discomfort brought into you, just based on new information or somebody else's point of view, something that's gonna kind of throw off what you've always thought of as your path. Okay, it's not a bad thing. It's good to be open-minded, but you're maybe gonna feel a little shook. In this Page of Acorns, a young person who is creative and enthusiastic, maybe a little more energetic than you're used to. This person may also be part of what shakes you up. Maybe you have a baby coming, if not that, a child in your life, or not even a child, but a young-ish person, or somebody with a youthful demeanor. And maybe you're a very quiet person or a very introverted person, and this person's like, and you like them kind of despite the fact that they're kind of rocking your world and breaking things open. But, again, not a bad thing, just something to be aware of, that it could be coming, and, just prepare to have your boat rocked a little bit, your world shifting a little. It's gonna feel like a minor earthquake, and then yet it's gonna feel like a minor earthquake until transformation, right? So the Death card. So it's gonna start out as a minor earthquake, and then the foundations will open. And things are gonna change. Like you're gonna be looking at major change. One thing's gonna end and something new is going to begin. And again, not something to be afraid of, but that Nine of Swords tells me you may be very set in your ways or very used to things being a certain way. And maybe with the way things are in the world right now at the time of this filming, maybe you're just like, I'm good, I'm home, I'm gonna stay home, and then something forces you to go out into the world. You kind of have to, and it throws you off or weirds you out. I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm seeing for your reading. That protection against the evil eye may have drawn you because you are somebody who's insulated, who feels the need for protection, who doesn't like having things, doesn't like to feel vulnerable. And there's going to be something maybe that causes you to feel vulnerable, or causes you to open up in ways you don't enjoy at first, but eventually it'll be your new normal and you'll be okay. I'm going to add some tarot coins. We've got here the Queen of Pentacles. So that tells me that maybe you're, if it's you're a homebody, or you're the kind of person who shows love through service. You like to take care of other people. You're very staid and solid and dependable, and this Page of Wands may come in and just throw everything off. Oh, you got a Hangman again. Okay, so that's just a re-emphasis of what's going on there. Ooh, and the Ace of Cups. So it can mean new love. I know a lot of people take it as a love relationship, and that is possible if that's something you're open to and looking for, but it can also be it's just new emotions. It's new, it can even be a certain amount of creativity, even though it's not a wand. There is, in my mind, a little bit of the creative element in water as well. So, so something new starting, and that kind of just goes back to this whole transformation thing too. And the Three of Swords. So yes, the Three of Swords against transformation. Every new beginning is also an end, and for some people those ends are very difficult, even heartbreaking. If you're leaving an old situation behind, if you're leaving your comfort zone behind, it can feel painful. I'm not gonna lie, right? I don't do the rah-rah kind of readings. I'm just I tell it like it is. But again, doesn't mean good won't come of it. Overall, I get a very positive vibe from this reading, so I think it's just a matter of transitioning, and that's going to be potentially, it might wreck you a little, there's going to be some aches and pains, some growing pains in there. Okay, so next I'm going to do these Enchanted map cards. My cat is, I don't know if you can hear that, but my cat is trying to get it. Number 29, coming to life. There you go. So that tells you, all about it just kind of confirms everything I just said. you're gonna, you're gonna, it's gonna be a process. But the coming to life part, the end of it, there's going to be joy. Sorry, I keep having to lean over to get the piles. We're gonna do a numerology card too. Oh, time out. So that's interesting. Okay, so, yeah, though, again, like, I feel like once you start to feel anxious, you're gonna need to pump the brakes a little. You don't have to go head on into things that make you, like, uncomfortable. This Page of Wands may be urging you to, and the transformation process, sometimes it's like, I just want to get through it, I just want to get to the other side. But I think it's important to stop and feel everything that's happening and acknowledge your feelings and that anxiety and that pain that may come with change. And I just think that's where at timeout, I think just your intuition, be intuitive about it. If you're feeling like, okay, hang on, I need to take a minute, then that's perfectly fine. Even if people around you are urging you to just, come on, just get through it, get over it. Whatever grief you might be having for your life changing, people are like, oh, just get over it, get over it. You don't have to. You don't have to. They're not you, and they can't really dictate how you feel, and they can't really dictate how you deal with how you feel. Okay? The color for the year, at least for the start of the year, is cyan. Apply, affirm, activate, assemble, align. Okay, so this color might just, at least at the beginning of the year, this might bring you comfort, it might bring you joy, it might make you feel a little better, a little bit more at ease about everything that's happening. It's just a color to kind of keep in mind, maybe keep as a touchstone. I'm going to see your Ascended Master here. Find the blessing in your current situation. Okay, this is Krishna, right? Sorry about the glare. Yeah. So again, when you're hitting those 3 of Sword moments, those 9 of Sword moments, stop and think about the good. I'm going to tell you again, you've probably heard me talk about the whole gratitude journal. Every day, write down the 3 things you're thankful for, no matter how small, 3 things that day that went well. Like I said before, one time for me it was that I found that pocket in the traffic where there was no one ahead of me and no one behind me, and I didn't feel like people were urging me forward, and I didn't feel like the pressure of leading the pack on the road. I have driving anxiety issues, by the way. So I just assume, but yeah, so just, take a moment, that time out, that quiet moment, and think about the good in the situation instead of thinking about what you're losing or what's changing and what's terrifying you about it. Stop and think about, okay, but what good can come of this, and what might, how might this actually work out to my benefit, right? And then I'm gonna do, so these are Archangel Gabriel cards. Archangel Gabriel is my patron. I was born on a Wednesday. That's ruled by Mercury and the Magician, which is also Archangel Gabriel. And so I work with him a lot, and this is success. Congratulations, you did it. This is your transformation card confirmation. It just means that by the time you get to the end of that, you're going to feel better. I won't say it won't hurt while it's happening. If you've ever heard of the break and repair method of bones, sometimes you have to break the bone and reset it rather than heal it the way it is, because if you try to heal it as it is, it's going to heal wrong or crooked, or it's going to be worse than when you started. If you break it and repair it so that it's and that's kind of what this reading makes me think of, break and repair. And it's, again, scary, painful at points, but I think at the end of the day, you're going to be in a whole new kind of situation, and it's going to be good for you, and you will eventually get comfortable with that. And this Page of Wands person may be the person who changes up your life or urges you to change your life or something, but it's all to the good. And one other thing, I'm going to do my little fortune cookie cards. Sorry, I have to lean over and grab those. This is your little fortune cookie, at least for the beginning of 2021. Let's have a look. Perseverance. Well, there you go. You may feel like you are getting nowhere, but there are wonderful changes ahead. Don't give up. Well, that says it all. So hopefully that reading resonated with you and you enjoyed it, and you know, it gives you a little bit of hope even if you're a little apprehensive. But it should, you know, overall if you were sitting here with me and you could feel the vibe off these cards, overall it's very positive. It's very comforting, and I wish you all the best in the coming year. So if you chose the Dreaming Sand, this is your reading. I'm going to warn you now that my cat is in here and may cause any amount of trouble. You've seen him before. If you've watched this channel, you know how he is. He's the little icon for the channel, in fact. So this is, you know, 2021, at least the start of it, at least like for starters. And for some, walking by the microphone, I am so sorry. He is truly a tiny demon. I honestly believe he's my familiar, but he's just, I don't even know. Anyway, 2021, like the start, if not all the way through. Like I said, somewhere in the middle, I feel like there's going to be a big shift. The cards may reflect that. For reading number 1, they did. I don't know if you watched it. But here's your first card. We've got the 7 of Crystals, which is the 7 of Pentacles. So patience, waiting for... So one cat is inside and one cat is outside, and they are... Anyway. Okay. 10 of Acorns, which is the 10 of Wands. A certain amount of responsibility involved in that. The Queen of Shells. I am sorry, because he is like shaking everything now. The Queen of Cups. And the 5 of Crystals, which is the 5 of Pentacles. Do not be alarmed. I apologize if I apologize. Let's try that again. 7 of Crystals, 10 of Acorns, which is the 10 of Wands, the Queen of Shells, which is the Queen of Cups, and the 5 of Crystals, which is the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is patience and responsibility. You're waiting for something, like you're waiting for the right moment to harvest something. And then the responsibility of actually harvesting it. If you think about farmers, like there's a lot of waiting involved, and then there's a lot of work involved when the waiting is over. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, is that you're going into the year kind of waiting something out, waiting for the right moment for something, and when that moment comes, there's going to be a lot of work. The nice thing is you've got this Queen of Cups. If it's you, then you are compassionate, sensitive, possibly a little bit psychic. But I kind of get the feeling this is someone in your life who's here to support you. A mother, a sister. It doesn't have to be a woman, but somebody who has insight and sensitivity and can support you in whatever this heavy lifting that you're trying to do is. Now, you've got this 5 of Pentacles, right? And people see that and they go, oh, you know, it's loss. And it's not. It is actually, the way I read it anyway, the way I read the 5 of Pentacles is, it's kind of a refusal to come in from the cold. You have options, but you're too proud or something to take them. So the way I'm reading kind of the Queen of Cups next to the 5 of Pentacles here is that there's somebody here to help you and support you, but for whatever reason, you're reluctant to accept the help. You either are afraid they'll try and take credit, or, you know, just your pride. It's something you want to do on your own. You don't want to be seen as, I don't know. But like, since it's a general reading, there could be any number of situations that play into it. But basically, overall, there's going to be a lot of work to be done. There's help there if you need it. And it's a question of whether or not you're willing to accept the help. That's the overall sense. We're going to add some tarot coins to this. I'm going to shake these up a little. I don't want to get this same ones just because. Okay. Sorry if that's loud. Three of Pentacles. Okay, yes. Building something. Again, like the stages of putting something together. So you've waited it out. Now there's a time in which the actual work has to be done. The thing about the Three of Pentacles, again, is that it's a matter of working together with people rather than holding your own. And here's the Tower. So the way what came to me is that if you try to do this alone, it's gonna fall apart. You need to accept the help. Yeah, here's the Two of Cups. Two people, and here on the Queen of Cups, two people coming together, at the very least, two people working together. And the Knight of Cups. Again, another person who's there to offer you something, help, and you need to just kind of be willing to accept it. Okay, so that's what I read from the cards. Now let's look at we're going to do this enchanted map wide open. So yeah, what I see here is that you're kind of closed off, and that makes it hard for people to help you. And you need to, the possibilities are endless, right? As the saying goes, but only if you're open to them. If you sit and complain about a lack of opportunities or things it's in part because you're being a little bit too narrowly focused. You want things to come to you a very specific way, or you're attached to a very specific process, and you need to maybe be a little more flexible in the way things come to you, and in who can help you. Let's do a numerology card too. Oh, love partnership. Here's that Two of Cups. Here's that Queen of Cups. So, yeah, it just confirms that somebody's there for you. And when I see love, I feel can be a lot of things. It can be romantic love, obviously, if that's what you're looking for. It's here for you. But there's familial love, the kind of love between friends. No matter what, there's someone here who's there for you, wants to help you, wants to be part of your life, and you can't shut them out. Your 2021 is not going to allow you to continue to shut people out indefinitely. You're going to be presented with this moment, this Tower moment, that's going to force you to open up to others. Color. Your color camera froze up there for a second. So I was saying beige, quiet, gentle, neutral, respite, service. This quiet, gentle, neutral is something I see as like that Queen of Cups, Two of Cups is gentle, the gentleness of the cups. But the service, I think, is for you. I feel like you're being told to, again, be sure you're not focusing only on you and your stuff and what you want, but that you widen your not only accept help from others, but maybe also offer it. You've maybe been a little bit focused on your needs and wants, and you need to offer service to others as well. There are people around you who need you as much as you need them. No man is an island, so on and so forth. But that's basically what I'm getting here. I'm gonna get follow your heart, St. Francis. So, I mean, again, this love partnership, this follow your heart, like, do not tell me that if I follow my heart, I'm just going to do this thing on my own and I don't need anyone else and I don't need to help anyone else, because your heart, if you stop and listen, wants the connection between you and others. You may have convinced yourself otherwise, but it's not true. Just going to leave that there. I'm going to do Archangel Gabriel cards. I work with Gabriel a lot. He's my patron Archangel. So, let's see what he has to say. Classes. Learning and teaching are part of your higher calling. Well, that's interesting. So that's kind of an interesting... So, again, I think it's that need for some interaction with at least one other person, a teacher, a mentor, or a student, somebody you want to help with something. But either way, this kind of two-way connection, I think, is what that's speaking to. Whether you take formal classes or teach classes formally, or you're just helping somebody through something, or they're helping you with a project or something, that, again, is going to be key, at least in the first part of 2021 for you. Sorry, I keep having to lean over to grab these cards. Last but not least, we're going to get a little fortune cookie here. See what it says. Nature. Interact with nature in the outdoors, around animals, farmlands, or by the ocean. This will be good for the soul and healing for you. So, on top of being out, with other people safely, who knows the time you're watching this, what the situation will be, but we can connect with people in a lot of different ways. Doesn't have to be face to face, but you should be at least getting outside, getting sunlight, fresh air. Don't hole up, even though you're like sitting there waiting for your Seven of Pentacles moment. Be sure you're getting out. I recently went to the doctor and they were like, you need to be going outside and getting vitamin D, which comes from sunlight, because that does, they've shown, help fight off viruses. Yeah, be sure you're just getting out there in nature. It'll help clear your thoughts. It'll help loosen the stiffness from your stress. Just kind of spend some time outside. I think that's going to be important for a lot of people, but specifically for you, Group 2, it's an important deal. So that is your reading. I hope it resonated. If not, my apologies. Again, these are general readings. Can't speak to everyone's specific circumstances, but I will take a photo and insert it so you can see all the cards again, take a snapshot, whatever you need to do to remember. All right, good luck in the coming year. All right, Group 3, if you chose this feather, this is your reading for at least going into 2021. Like I said, I feel like there's probably going to be some shifts towards the middle of the year. We'll see how that goes. So first card, the Empress. Nice. Got some fertility. It doesn't have to mean like literal children. Children can be projects, anything like that. The Ten of Shells, the Ten of Cups. Very nice. Got some really nice positive energy going in here. The Ten of Feathers. Okay, so that's the Ten of Swords from top to bottom, right? And the Chariot. Okay. So, you're going into 2021 with, overall good health, good feelings, a positive situation. And, if you're like thinking right now, well, that's not true, I'm not in a positive situation, and you ready to click off. I think it's one of those things where you need to focus on the good rather than the bad. There's a lot to say, oh, I can't believe we're in this situation and, all these bad things are happening. But what you have is you have love and you have like emotional support and a good family or friend support group. I mean, that Ten of Cups there suggests that it's there for you if you want it, whether or not you embrace it. And then you have the Ten of Feathers, the Ten of Swords, which is the lowest point, right? Things can only get better from there. And you have the Chariot, which is movement away from that Ten of Swords. So I think when I take all of this together, what I understand it as is feeling very low, but in actuality, things are better than you think, and you're moving away from the sense that things are terrible. That isn't to discount any difficulties you're going through. They're valid, and your feelings are valid. Always remember that. But remember that there's hope, that there's motion, right? The Chariot is motion. It's the thing about the Chariot, though, is that you have to get your horses harnessed and working together. So sometimes they want to go in opposite directions, or they're not going at the same speed, and you're a little wonky, and the motion is not as smooth and as fast as you would like. So we're gonna check some coins. I'm going to add some tarot coins to this to see if we can get any clarification. So we have the Star right here on the Empress. So there's hopes and dreams and wishes, and fertility. Like it's like watering a garden. So you got the Empress and the Star, and what I see there is like the Star is things that you want or hoping for, and the Empress is the ability. She's got the power to make it happen, and she's fertility, so planting the seeds, they will grow over time. You've got the King of Swords against the Ten of Cups. So your happiness may feel imperfect because of an inner critic, something in you that wants to criticize your situation, or an outer critic. There may be somebody there who's, just when you think you're happy, they're reminding you of everything that's wrong and bad. There's somebody negative in your life, and they may see things very clearly, but they're also kind of reducing your happiness by cutting through it with their, perception of something. We've got Justice. Okay. So, and it's on the Ten of Swords. So, not to be mean, but somebody gets what they deserve, whether it's you or your negative Nelly over here. I apologize if you can hear my son. He's very excited about something. Then, things balance out. If you get the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Swords, that's actually balance. It's like, it's about bringing things into balance this year. The highs and the lows kind of meeting in the middle. And your last one is the Page of Cups. So this is someone, if not young, then youthful in demeanor. And they are creative, and they do they do unexpected things, or they think in ways that are unexpected. Like they put things together in strange ways. The traditional card is the page is holding a cup, and it's got a fish coming out of it. It's kind of like, where does fish come from? And it's and so it's somebody who's kind of surprising in that way, or here it is on the Chariot. It's somebody who may surprise you in being able to get your horses hitched properly and get you going in a smoother way, eventually. Not that you should sit around waiting for this person to do the job. You need to act, and then the universe, your angels, bring to you the people who will help you. God helps those who help themselves, right? So let's do these enchanted map cards. Now, I'm not super familiar. Okay, wait, we've got two here. It's kind of weird, but let's just look at them both. Spirit of Place and Balancing Act. Here's Justice again, and it's number 11. Okay, so yeah, interesting. So yeah, I mean, it's about balancing your highs and lows rather than doing this kind of, which will make it easier for the Chariot to go. It's hard for a Chariot to go up and down and up and down, but small hills can kind of. So I think that's a big part of it. Now, Spirit of Place suggests that your environment is going to be really important in the coming year, at least at the start of the year. I know for a lot of people in a lot of places, you don't have a lot of choices in where to go. So you need to maybe focus on making your environment the best possible and silencing either that inner critic, that inner King of Swords, or tuning out the outer King of Swords if they're causing you problems. Let's do a numerology card. New beginnings, wow. Talk about, okay, yeah. There you go. Starting the year fresh. Calendars are arbitrary, right? Like, things don't just immediately change when you get to January 1st, but a fresh mindset goes a long way. Your color is copper. Telepathy, transmission, sending and receiving, manifesting, and everyday abundance. So, copper may be a color that helps you at least get through the start of the year. I think, you've got the King of Swords, you've got the Ten of Swords, which is air and communication. And I feel, again, like the Page of Cups too is someone who, like I said, they do things in a surprising way, and telepathy, that's usually a Cups thing. So you've got this Ten of Cups and this Page of Cups, and that's something that you may form a connection with someone like that, where you're almost feeling like you read each other's thoughts, you feed off each other. Just make sure it's in a good way, right? We're going to do an Ascended Master, Positive Change. There you go. Parvati. I would say, again, that it's a matter of getting away from that critical kind of downer energy and going with the more upbeat and hopeful, moving away from it, right? And last, but certainly not, well, no, this isn't last. There's one other thing. So, Archangel Gabriel, who is my patron, sensitivity. Your sensitive feelings are your muse and inspiration for your creativity. Yeah, so that Ten of Cups, that Page of Cups, again, I feel like the criticalness of the swords may be harming some of your sensitive nature or your empathy. Yeah, there's like an inner critic or an outer, Debbie Downer type person in your life that's kind of causing a certain amount of grief. And it's about moving away from that. That's a large part of at least the start of your year. reflection. This is your friendships in your life may come to an end. Others could blossom and become stronger. So again, kind of ditch your King of Swords person. I mean, you may value their perspective a lot of the time. They see things clearly, but they're kind of no nonsense. And right now, you may need somebody a little more sensitive, a little kinder, to get through whatever you're trying to get through, to make this project come to life or whatever. You may be trying to create something and you've got somebody who's like, that's stupid, you can't make money off being a writer or an artist or whatever it is you're trying to do. And yet your Page of Cups person is going, well, but at least you enjoy it. You should at least try. You'll be sad if you don't. At least give it a shot. I mean, and what's the worst that could happen? You create something, and you've created it. What's wrong with bringing something into the world? That Empress energy, right? That birthing of something, and yeah. So I think this is about choosing who to listen to. Your Ten of Cups versus your Ten of Swords, and maybe finding a happy medium where you're maybe even hearing two different, angel, devil kind of people, and somewhere in the middle you're able to, balance out a truth that works for you, a system that works for you, where you're like, yeah, I get what you're saying and I get what you're saying, and I'm going to take a little of each, and then I'm going to make a decision that works for me. And so I think in some ways, yeah, that's how your 2021 is going to at least start. All right, so hopefully this reading resonated with you. I will take a picture and insert it so you can see all the cards and things together, so that you can take a screenshot, whatever you need to do, and have a happy 2021, or at least start of it. I wish you a lot of luck in the coming year. All right, if you chose the Selenite Pyramid, this is a look at least the beginning of your 2021. You'll see what happens here. What we got? The Shadow. Don't be afraid. The Ten of Shells. Okay. Strength. The Seven of Acorns, which is the Seven of Wands. Okay. So, the Shadow, which corresponds to the Devil, just means that there's something you're very attached to going into the year, that may or may not be causing you difficulties in various ways. You've got the Ten of Shells here too, though, so overall there's support and at least emotional support around you. Unfortunately, that could be enabling whatever fixation, addiction, obsession that you have. You have strength, and you have the Seven of Wands. So strength, and the Seven of Wands is kind of a defensive card. It says here, determination and stamina. So when you take that with strength, I think what we're looking at is the strength to break the chains that are binding you, whatever they happen to be. Something, whether it's just a situation you've grown so comfortable with, you're unmotivated to get out of it, and it's maybe not the best situation for you, or something. The thing is, you've got support in that Ten of Cups, and you just need to make sure that they're supporting you and not enabling you. They're not telling you, oh no, it's fine, you should just stay where you are, when in truth what you need is somebody to kick you in the pants and get you moving. So we're going to do some coins. Oh, we've got the Knight of Swords. So that is somebody impetuous, somebody who often acts without thinking first, which is funny because swords are thinking, but like I should say act without thinking. They speak without thinking, so sometimes they come across as a little abrasive. You got the Two of Cups though too here, so they're, you know, the Three of Pentacles and coin to the Moon. Okay, so yeah, what we have is the Knight of Swords on the Devil tells me that this person may be part of your problem. The Two of Cups on the Ten of Cups tells me, well, I mean, it's a general reading, so there are a couple of things that could be going on. This could be somebody you're coupled with, and they're actually not a good fit for you, but you've so far not felt motivated to move on. It could be that there's somebody else in your life who is, you know, your significant other, and they're your support against someone who's bullying you or causing you grief, and now you need that, again, that strength to stand up for yourself. You've got this Three of Pentacles, which tells me that you're building something and you're in the early stages of building it, and so there are people around you to help you build this thing, whatever it is. But then the Moon suggests too that you're not seeing something clearly. So the Moon is a very psychic card, but it's also, in the way I read it, it's seeing things by moonlight. They don't look exactly the same as by sun. They're not as clear. So you may be defending that determination, that Seven of Wands. You may be defending against something you don't need to defend against. You may be fighting the people who are trying to help you and siding with the people who are actually enabling you, and that's actually worse for you, right? Like, you're picking the wrong team, in a sense. There are people who genuinely want to help you and want to help you build this thing and want you to be healthy and make good choices, and then there are people who are enabling you in your bad choices, in that whole devil energy. And it could be that the way you're seeing it is that the people who are trying to help you are bad, and the people who are allowing you to continue in these bad habits, or, like I said, addictions, obsessions, whatever fixations, whatever you're tied to, you're seeing them as the good guys, because that's easy. It's easier to stay where you are and like you are than to change. And the cards are suggesting that what you really need to do is change and find the people who are going to support your change and help you in that process. Okay, I hope that makes sense. We're going to look at an Enchanted map card, Heal the Ouch. So again, so maybe there's a rift between you and someone because you have a difference of opinion. They see something in your life as toxic, or someone in your life as toxic, and you don't see it that way. And so there's been this kind of divide between you, and in truth, you need to heal that divide, because they may be right, at least partially, that something or someone in your life is not serving your best interest. Nobody ever wants to hear that, because if you're out having a good time and partying, you don't want to hear, maybe you should dial it back a bit. But the truth is, maybe you should dial it back a bit. Nature. That's interesting. We got not this card, but we got nature in the last reading. So nature may play a part in your healing. I think some outdoor time. I think this is true for everyone really, but some fresh air, some sunlight. I was saying in the last reading, my doctor told me, go outside, be sure you're getting vitamin D from sunlight every day. So just as a general rule, the cards are emphasizing for you that you should get um, some fresh air and some sun, spend some time in nature, maybe meditating. I think you'll see things a little more clearly if you do that. I'm going to look at your color. Oh, blue-gray. Soul family. Distant travel. In motion. Gliding along. Common goal. So that common goal is that 3 of Pentacles, where people are working together to build something. Distant travel, maybe not right away, unless you're astral traveling or in some way. But I do think it could mean that someone at a distance plays a role here. In motion, gliding along. So yeah, you're in motion. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. Gliding along. I feel like there's a sense of taking the path of least resistance, when in truth, Strength and 7 of Wands are saying, no, dig in your heels. It's time to stop just going along to get along. It's time to stop going with the flow, because this is not taking you the direction you want to go. So blue-gray, in at least at the beginning of 2021, may be a color that helps you, soothes you, whatever. It's something you want to wear, or something you pay attention to when you see it. Just choose peace. I'm not even going to try and say. Well, I will try and say it. Paramahansa Yogananda. I have no idea if I said that correctly, but yes, and it's a blue-gray card too, isn't it? So again, like it's choose peace, and it's easy to say, well, peace is just to keep going the way I'm going, and that's the easy thing to do, and it's the least amount of shakeup. But I think inner peace and peace between you and at least one other person, that heal the ouch, will require actually a little bit of effort, a little bit of work. Archangel Gabriel says that you should do a vision board. Create a board with images and words that inspire you. I think when you have like people enabling you and or someone who's a bad influence on you, and then someone who wants you to change, some person wants you to stay same, person wants you to change, it can be easy to lose yourself in there, because you start to not even be sure what you want anymore, because you've got all these other people telling you what you should do or what's good for you. And I think the vision board for you would be to just close out all the noise, sit down, find images, quotes, things that speak to you, just you, and then that's going to help you kind of understand yourself, what you want, what you need, who to listen to, who not to listen to. It'll bring you back to yourself, and I think that's really key. And finally, we're going to do this little achievement. Enjoy the limelight. You've earned it, although on the family front, someone's health could cause some secret worries and sleepless nights. Okay, so, that 3 of Pentacles again, you're building something, you're working towards something, and this card suggests you will achieve it, but not without there being worries about some of the people around you. You may be so focused on what you're trying to accomplish, what you want to build, that you neglect your health, other people's, health and needs. Don't get to that point. But yeah, I think overall, it's interesting too, because when I think of the pyramid, the pyramids were built slowly, laboriously, over a long period of time. And so this is really about building something, but first you got to make sure your foundation is good, and that devil card suggests that you may be building on the wrong foundation, and you just need to the strength and the determination to start from scratch if necessary, or at the very least make some changes to that foundation before you start putting a bunch of bricks on top of it. You don't want to get to, even halfway up and realize it's no good. So that is the start of 2021 for you. Hopefully that made sense. Feel free to ask questions in the comments if you're like, I didn't understand something. I will take a picture of all the cards together and insert it here-ish, so that you can see it, take a screenshot, whatever you need to do. And I hope you have a great 2021.